Hello, good evening. My name is Dr. Chudi Ufondu of Snowspirations, and today it's yet another wonderful day. And on this special day, we're going to discuss a topic of great importance. So, we're going to discuss about lubricants. We're going to talk about lubricants in regards to fertility. So, you see, sex is an act that has to be fully learned. Sex is not a passive thing. And in the act of making babies, proper way of making love is very important. Unfortunately, when it comes to infertility, infertility is a bully. Infertility is a condition that can take the joy and the life away from so many couples. So if infertility is not properly handled, infertility can completely snuff off life from the sex life of couples. So it's important you understand the proper way to stay on track if you're having infertility problems. It has to be fully followed like an adult. The two parties must be on the same page. If it's not properly handled, it can cause irreparable damage to the relationship. We've seen couples that went their separate ways because of infertility. And when infertility hits your sexual life, that's about the last straw that can break the camel's back. So, what's the role of lubricants? So, lubricants can actually help in the act of sex, especially if infertility has caused deadly blow to the intimacy part of the relationship. So, when you use lubricants, most times it's to help the female partner not to feel pain. When you are anxious, when you are not ready, when all you have in your mind is to make babies, it can take the intimacy part of making love away. And when that happens, your vagina might not be ready for love making. So there might be need for enhancements. That's where lubricants come in. Now, if you're not planning to make babies, if you're not having infertility issues, there are so many lubricants out there. All you need to do is to make sure it's not expired, then you make sure it's approved. But if you are in the category of going to conceive, it's not all lubricants out there you use. You have to go specifically for approved fertility lubricants. Why do you need to do this? Very simple. Some lubricants contain what we call spermicides. Spermicides are those chemicals that kill the sperm cells. So when you use those lubricants that contain spermicides, you are inadvertently creating more problems while you're planning to solve a problem. So picture yourself having infertility and needing to increase in the frequency of your lovemaking, and your lovemaking is not going smoothly as planned. And on top of that, you are using lubricants that have spermicides. So you'll be double issue, double trouble, because at the end of the day, your sperm is not gonna perform the role, it's not gonna get to the cervix, it's not gonna get to the womb to embark on the journey to go to the tubes to fertilize the released egg. So there are few approved fertility friendly lubricants out there. That should be your criteria. So when you're going out there, make sure the lubricants you're using is fertility friendly. Very important. There are few of them out there. So when you're buying it, you read the label, you make sure it's strictly stated fertility friendly and non-spermicidal. Spermicidal means it's not the type that can kill the cells. There are also some lubricants that contain what we call endotoxins. Endotoxins are external toxins that can introduce bacteria in the vaginal area. There are specific physiologic states of the fluid in the cervix, of the fluid in the womb, of the sperm. So when you introduce these external endotoxins, it's going to introduce bacteria that will further damage the chances of achieving success. So it's important to pay attention. You read the labels, you take time to make sure you're using only fertility friendly lubricants so that you will increase your ability to succeed. Matter of fact, some fertility friendly lubricants can mimic the environment in the vagina, can mimic the environment in the cervical fluid, can mimic the environment in the womb fluid so that it will be like the same. But you have to make sure you don't use lubricants that has low pH. Anytime you have any product with low pH, that means it's acidic. And when it's acidic, it can damage a couple of the good stuff out there. So you have to make conscious efforts to use only fertility friendly lubricants. When you do this, it's going to help in the process of making babies. But you also have to remember your reproductive organs are not just meant for procreation, they are also meant for pleasure. When you turn your lovemaking into a domestic chore, it becomes laborious, it becomes redundant, it becomes not fun. So, in as much as you're going through difficulty wanting to have a baby, you have to create that spontaneity. You have to create that ability to overcome even while you're focused on getting results. This is a very important aspect you have to deal with because if you don't deal with this, it will cause more problems. And of all the aspects of relationship, when your sexual relationship is affected, that foundation begins to crack because sex plays a lot of role in binding couples together. Over time, when life challenges starts coming, if the couples are still intimate, both of them can leverage on the power of sex and the power of intimacy, which you use in your challenging days. So please, if you're a couple in GTC category, please, when you go out there shopping for lubricants, don't just jump on board for any lubricant you see out there. Take time, read the label. Don't use petroleum jelly. Don't use olive oil. Don't use any home oil because when you use those, they will further cause problems. They will lead to a lot of blockages. They will lead to a block between the real sperm that will get you pregnant. So please be conscious and mindful of the type of lubricants you are using if you are in the GTC category. Please share this video, like this video, subscribe, and make sure your partner is on the same page. And hopefully, the aspect of lovemaking and frequency can be taken care of, and it will take care of the pain, and you will have pleasure. And at the end of the day, you will become pregnant. Thank you for coming this evening, and I hope to be back. Until I see you again, thank you, and bye bye, and God bless.